It of course comes as Britain wraps up 4 days of celebrations for the Queen's Platinum Jubilee, marking 70 years on the throne. Royal historian Hugo Vickers joins me now from London. Hugo, what struck me over the weekend is just how popular the Queen remains.
Absolutely. I mean, the Mall was packed with people on the night of the concert. The enthusiasm of the crowd was tangible. I mean, it was absolutely amazing. And if there was not that there was any doubt about how popular she was, that was totally reassured over these last 4 days. And even the British weather hung out for us this time.
Wonderful, and we didn't see Her Majesty. We saw her a couple of times, but it sort of became clear too that she is in the twilight of her reign, isn't she?
Well, inevitably at the age of 96 and after 70 years on the throne, we saw her at the beginning when she came out on the balcony for the Trooping the Colour, and we saw her at the very end of the pageant. It was a marvellous moment, I can tell you, Rebecca, when I saw the Union Jack coming down from the flagpole on Buckingham Palace and the Royal Standard going up, and we knew she was there and that she would be coming out to see us. What was also fascinating was the Trooping the Colour, for example. Prince of Wales, Prince Charles, moved effortlessly into the lead and led that whole parade and did it extremely well. But as soon as the procession got back to the palace and the Queen was there, he faded into the background and she took over again. So it's a very nice balance between the two of them, I think.
Yes, and we did see, I think, a glimmer of sort of King Charles during the weekend at the concert there in front of Buckingham Palace, because he was the top billing that night, wasn't he?
He was, and over the last few months, he's done quite a number of things, like the cenotaph. He's been laying the wreath now for a couple of years. He distributed the Maundy money, and of course, he did the speech for the opening of Parliament. Things which really shouldn't expect the Queen to have to do anymore. But what's so wonderful is that she has Zoom, and she can, be seen to be conducting the affairs of this country from Windsor Castle. And so we see her from time to time, and then she comes out whenever she can. And I think that's how it's going to be for some time now, which is actually fine, I think.
And how will it work from now on? Because Charles, as the Queen takes on those constitutional roles and sort of gives up some of her public appearances, will Charles become the king in all but name?
Well, people always say that, and I think probably not. But I mean, I think what is good is that we see that, that he's obviously completely capable of stepping in when the time comes. And I think that's been good, and that's possibly even been orchestrated a little bit to show us, what he's capable of. I mean, he's acquired. I don't want to say he didn't have gravitas before, but I think he's acquired a lot of gravitas in the last few days, which I think is a good thing. But the Queen is still very much in control. I mean, people who see her say she's incredibly alert, and she can talk to the Prime Minister, she can receive ambassadors through Zoom and sometimes in person. And that's what it's all about, really.
And just finally, Hugo, the Sussex's trip seems to have gone according to plan. From here, at least, there was no drama, no distracting from the Queen.
I agree. I was a bit worried when I heard that they were coming because I thought they might try to upstage her. I wonder what Prince Harry thought when he stepped on a plane and went back to California to look at all the things that he'd given up. But they were very much placed in the second row in the cathedral, behind what's called now the working royals. They use the ones who actually are doing all the work, put them all in the front row, even in defiance of precedence, to be quite honest. But yeah, they behaved perfectly well, and I think sometimes, it's quite good if people behave well in public. It makes it easier for them to behave well in private. So let's hope some good things come out of all that as well.
Absolutely. Hugo Vickers, thanks so much for joining us.
Pleasure.